I really want you to watch this video and tell me if you have the same question for this creator that I do.
So President Trump has not even had control over Washington, D.C. for 30 days. And I have on my For You page video after video showing D.C., specifically Union Station, and how clean and safe it is. People don't understand how big of a deal it is, specifically for Union Station, because there is a bridge, whether it's a bypass, it's either 95, 395, or 495, where the homeless, as well as people who are abusing drugs, as well as the drug dealers, they just squat. It's clean. It's all gone. This was also an underpass bridge where people would throw their waste. So you would drive on the main road, and to the left and right of you is nothing but trash. It's all clean. People don't understand how big of a deal this is because the Capitol is right there within like a 6 or 7 minute walk. And then also local residents, they did not like walking there, whether in the daytime or the evening. Some people would take taxis just to avoid any type of encounters. And people have been talking about cleaning this up for a decade. And you mean to tell me President Trump hasn't even had control for 30 days and he cleaned it all up?
You said it's all gone. You mean they're all gone. My question is, where did the people go? Now, this is a pro-Trump account making all kinds of "we love Donald Trump" propaganda. She loves to hate on Jasmine Crockett. So I understand the desire to create this narrative that Trump is cleaning up DC, that we need him to fix problems in big cities around the country. It is interesting to me that she says that her FYP is full of videos like that. I haven't seen any videos like that. But we do actually know that the Trump regime is targeting homeless people in Washington and homeless people in general. But I could not watch that video without thinking, where did the people go? And the whole video is giving like 1860s vagrancy laws. Poor unemployed people can't be out of place. They can't be visible trying to live their lives within view of decent, clean people.
This is crazy.
Where are the people? Where are the people who were living in those tents? One of two things happened to them so that you could live in your clean, pristine city where you don't have to see the impacts of late-stage capitalism on millions of Americans. They've either been incarcerated or institutionalized, because like homelessness is now criminalized in the United States, or they've been further displaced. They've just been moved along somewhere else. I live in Portland, Oregon. One of my kids works in homeless advocacy, so this is a topic with which I'm very familiar. Sweeps like the one you just saw there actually increase the rate of death for homeless people. It takes people and pushes them further to the margins, into tinier back alleyways, out of sight of the public. Those people aren't gone. They're just now in a place where, especially if they were struggling with fentanyl addiction, they are much more likely to die of an overdose and not receive any help because they're out of sight. Also, sweeps like the one you just saw there, where people's personal property, their possessions that belong to them, are taken away from them. In those kinds of sweeps, homeless folks have their medication, their medical devices, and their phones often taken away from them, therefore increasing their risk of death by something like 20%. These are human beings. These are American citizens. I would just like to point out that homelessness is increasing under Trump. He has massively cut services, including addiction medicine, including beds in rehab for folks who are homeless, for folks who are struggling with addiction. I realize that for folks like this creator, he doesn't want to have to experience the discomfort of witnessing the reality of what American society has done to millions of people. In most major U.S. cities, the percentage of homeless folks that are veterans is between 12 and 20%. This is how the federal government, this is how Donald Trump is treating our veterans. It would be far, far cheaper to provide these folks with housing, folks who need addiction medicine support, beds in rehab, to be provided those beds, than to run operations like this. We could have cured homelessness years ago in this country. Do you know how? By fighting poverty, not poor people, by taxing the rich. Not only has Donald Trump cut virtually all programs that help people get up and out of homelessness into homes, get treatment for their addiction, get stable jobs, and become functional members of society. But then he wants to round them up and disappear them. All that creator cared about was that she didn't have to look at that anymore. Not a care in her mind for what happened to those human beings. She just wants a clean and tidy city and doesn't want to have to think too hard about how that came about. Again, I understand that she is a propagandist for the Trump regime, but this woman is incredibly foolish to not believe that the first they came for poem applies right now. In the United States in 2025, first they came for the immigrants, then they came for the homeless folks. They're coming for disabled folks. They're coming for women. They're coming for Black people. You think it's a coincidence that Trump is targeting cities with large progressive Black populations? You think it's a coincidence that he's targeting cities who have mayors who are either Black or women or both? There is no measure of security that you can purchase for yourself under a white supremacist fascist regime if you are not a wealthy white man. Even then, unless you're a billionaire, you're just a cog in the machine, and they will use you. And when you are a convenient tool to further their authoritarian overreach, they will disappear you. I'm disgusted by this woman's video. I understand, living in Portland, Oregon, I understand how many people dehumanize homeless folks. Their discomfort at having to bear witness to poverty is something they consider worse than other people actually living in poverty. And instead of wanting to work to fix it, again, we could have ended homelessness, we could have ended poverty and hunger in this country years ago if we just taxed the rich. Honestly, if the rich just owed the $600 billion in taxes they avoid paying every single year, we could end homelessness. But it's far easier to not think too hard about what's happening, not to think too hard about how much it's costing us regular working class people, for the Trump regime to disappear our homeless neighbors. Cost of paying for them to be institutionalized or incarcerated, that private prisons are just billing the federal government for, and the federal government is just sending them a ton of our taxpayer money for. It's far easier to dehumanize vulnerable people and to not think too hard about what's happening to them. Surrender your brain, surrender your will, surrender your rights. But hey, you get clean underpasses while you're still free and able to walk by them.